What is going on, YouTube? Lamont at large. Today we are walking down these train tracks. Going to go to the cemetery to visit the grave of Charles and Gretchen Parker. Going to talk about their murder that took place on July 21st of 2013. So let's go back to that Sunday night, Monday morning. So July 22nd, 2013, a man had came up to the residence of Charles Parker, 59 years of age. He was a local mechanic in the area. If you needed work done in your car, you just go to his house and he would do all of his work on his property. So a guy comes out, parks his car, and notices that the Parker's door to their home is wide open. So he jumps back into his car, grabs his phone, and calls the police because he's getting a bad vibe about things. So the police come out, and at first they can't get into the house because there's a bunch of barking chihuahuas over there, and they're like snarling at them and all this and that. They get animal control to remove the 18 chihuahuas, several cats, and half a dozen chickens away from the house. So they go inside and they find the bodies of Charles Parker and his wife, Gretchen Parker. They have been both shot and stabbed to death. Now, there is a sign on the Parker's residence that says, "Smile, you're on camera." So they get the video, they go back to the police station and they play it, and they see two individuals the previous night, Sunday, July 21st, 2013, pulling up in their car. They pop their hood open. Charles Parker comes outside. On the video, they're talking, and it looks like on the video that Charles Parker invites them into his home. In the video, they can see that a man with the tattoos on his head has a gun with him, and he's with a woman. One of the police officers recognizes him. He says, "I know that guy. That's Jeremy Moody, 30 years old. I've dealt with him plenty of times." So they pick up Jeremy Moody, they take him down to the station, and they said, "Well, we've seen you on video going into a house where two people were murdered." And he said, "Yeah, I killed them." That was easy. That was the easiest interrogation they probably have ever done in their life. So he said, "Why'd you kill him?" He said, "Because he's a child molester." Now, Charles Parker was a convicted sex offender. He had a 1991 sexual assault of a minor child on his record back in 1991. And he has also a 2003 third-degree sexual misconduct of a woman, of a grown adult 31-year-old victim right there. So they get him, they get the wife, Christine Moody, 36 years of age, and they charge him with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of possession of a firearm during a violent crime, and first-degree burglary. Now, according to what Jeremy Moody was telling the police, he had been wanting to kill Charles Parker for well over about a year, but he had chickened out the time they had pulled up to his house, but this time he was not going to chicken out. And he basically told the cops it was his mission in life to kill all child molesters, all sex offenders, what have you. So they go to court a few years later during the trial. And of course, right here, this is the grave of the Parkers. This is Charles Parker and his wife, Gretchen. Charles went by Butch, short. So during the court trial, the defense attorneys for the Moody's, they were really hoping that they would get 30 years in prison, right? And during the sentencing, when you kind of plead your case on why you shouldn't be given life in prison, Jeremy Moody, with his cool tattoos on his neck and face and head, said, quote, "Not a day goes that I don't regret that incident that happened, and I know what I done is a sin," unquote. And the judge looks at him and basically says, "You know, dude, you planned this murder for a long time, like, and you're asking me to be lenient on you?" And then his wife gets up and she says her thing, Christine Moody. She says, quote, "I truly believe God has forgiven Jeremy, and I hope you do too," unquote. So the judge basically just laughs at both of them and sentences them to life in prison. So when they get sentenced to life in prison, Jeremy turns to the family of Charles Parker right here and says, quote, "See you perverts later. That's what child molesters get," unquote. And then, of course, as Christine Moody is being let out of the courthouse, she says this to reporters.
I think Jeremy and I would have done it again if given the opportunity.
Do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
What about not being able to see Jeremy?
Jeremy and I have a love that will withstand this.
What about what you said in court about repenting? Is that not true then?
No, it's not true. My lawyer made me say it.
Do you have anything to say to the victim's family?
May they die also.
So I would say there's definitely no love lost there. That's for sure. Now, the police believe that Christine Parker necessarily didn't commit the murders, but she was there. So she's an accessory, so it's the same thing. And, you know, I always say payable on death. You know what I mean? Gretchen Parker was an innocent victim. She was just killed because she was married to a sex offender and they lived together. That was it. She was simply killed because she was there. And Jeremy Moody said that if he wouldn't have been caught, that he had more sex offenders on the list to kill. And there's actually people that come out of the woodwork defending these pedophiles, these sex offenders. They say that you shouldn't put their addresses on, the internet for people like this to go and murder. They say it's dangerous to be a sex offender and that, they should stop putting their addresses online. Well, I say this. If you don't want your address put out online, don't rape children. I say that, number one. Don't do that. Number two, don't sexually assault people in general, and you won't have a problem. Because we need your addresses if you're a convicted creep. Because if I have a family and I'm thinking about buying a home in a neighborhood, I don't want you living there. I don't want to be living in a neighborhood with creeps. Once a creep, always a creep. Hey, I'm not saying this guy deserved to get killed, but I'm not saying that either. It is what it is. It's the randomness of the universe. You ruined a little girl's life, and then you expect, whatever prison time you did was not nearly enough because this man should have been locked away for the rest of his life. I think once you commit a crime against a child or a woman in general, a sex crime, I think it should just be life. Actually, I think it should be the death penalty, to tell you the truth. And I know some of you ain't going to agree with me, and I don't have this channel for you guys to agree with everything that I say. But, Gretchen Parker, I don't know. She didn't have any crimes on her record, so I don't know. And I find it funny that it's been going on 9 years, and they still don't have a stone. They still don't have a marker. And, there's flowers right there, but of course they're old and dittered and withered and what have you. So, anyways, don't commit sex crimes, and you won't have crazy skinhead Nazi weirdos coming to your house wanting to murder you. Anyways, I am out of here, guys. Oh, by the way, some of you out here might disagree with what I'm about to say, but I'll tell you like this. Again, we can always agree to disagree, but I'm going to put their contact information, Christine and Jeremy Moody. If anybody wants to send them a couple bucks on their books for coffee or canteen or whatever, hey, I'm not saying they should be rewarded, but I don't know. That's one less sex creep on the street. Anyways, guys, live but not live, but still alive by the grace of God. I'm Lamont at large. And as that cop right there with his lights at the cemetery pulling up behind my camper, I will catch up with y'all later. Let's find out what's going on over here. Peace out.